welcome to another edition of Another Way to Praise, our September edition. We are so excited that you are here with us on this evening, and I want to welcome you all here tonight because we have a fantastic show prepared for you guys. And before we get started, what I wanted to do was to have prayer, because we always pray before we go on, and then I'm going to introduce all of my fabulous guests. So let me tell you this. If you have done the big chop, if you have gone natural, if you're thinking about going natural, like us black girls do, call up about 5 of your friends and tell them they need to tune in right now, because we get ready to go ham, okay? So I'm going to ask Sister Leslie. Y'all know she's my partner in crime. I'm going to ask her if she would lead us in prayer before we get started.
Most definitely. Oh Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. God, we thank you for another opportunity to gather before your people in these airwaves. We ask, Lord, that the words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart be acceptable by you. Let us have fun, God, as we experience this time together as sisters with a cause and a purpose. And we pray and we thank you for this opportunity at Waycross Media. We thank you for our host, Doris, and all the guests who have shown up. We thank you for our backstage folks, Steve, and everyone else who's a part of this broadcast. We love you, and we will give you the praise always. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Again, I want to welcome everyone to the September edition of Another Way to Praise. I am your hostess, Psalmist and Pastor Doris Stokes Knight, and I am so excited because tonight we are going to be discussing something that us black sisters have a lot to deal with on a daily basis, and that is our hair. You wouldn't think that would be controversial, right? But it really kind of is a means of discussion to the point where people got to start making movies about it to help people understand that, listen, this is a real thing that we contend with every day. So before we get right into it, I want to introduce all of my guests. Right here in the front, on the far right, is Elder Tracy Lee. She is the hostess for Sisters Movie Night, and she's also the administrator of the Inspirational Church City of Destiny. Amen. Welcome, Elder Tracy.
Thank you.
I want to introduce on the back row, right behind her, is Miss Cherie Stargell. She is a millennial professional for Synchrony Financial, and she is a natural hair care advocate and professional. And we have, welcome Cherie's wave so they'll know who you are. We have Miss Sherry Demings right back here in the front row. She is the moderator for Sisters Movie Night, and she's also the author of the book Story Behind My Hair Depression, Divorce, and Death to Destiny.
Amen.
Whoa.
Amen.
Welcome, Miss Sherry.
Thank you.
And behind her, in the second seat on the second row, is Miss Linda Kennemore Brown, who does natural protective hairstyles for black hair. And in the front, who just prayed for us so lovely, it's Miss Leslie Calhoun, who is also a professional and is a natural hair care converter and advocate. Welcome to all you ladies. Thank you for being here tonight. And what I wanted to discuss, because Elder Tracy and I ended up having a communication, because she's having a free event on this Friday.
Yes.
And we wanted to kind of incorporate both events so that we could have a real honest discussion about what black women actually go through concerning our hair. And you wouldn't think that would be, you know, nobody else worries about their hair. I don't know why everybody's so concerned about ours. But it's actually something that we have to contend with on a daily basis. So what I wanted to do, I want to kind of start off and find out, probably from Cherise and Sherry, and Miss Leslie, what actually happened or occurred to help you make the decision to go natural. So, Sherry, why don't you share with us what happened with you to make you go natural?
Sure. So I always knew that I wanted to go natural, but I never knew how it was going to occur. Well, I kind of discussed my story in my book. I had reached a point in my life where it was a very, very low point, and I knew something had to change. It just took me to the point where it's like I tried to change different things that was going on in my life, but I really couldn't. So all I could really do was change my hair. So I just got to a breaking point, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to chop it all off and start over.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it just sounds like a control thing with you. Like, this is something I can't control, so I'm just going to do this because I want to do it.
Yes, I couldn't change what was going on in my life.
Yeah.
All I could do was change my hair, and I was going down the wrong path.
Wow.
So it really was kind of a spiritual thing at that, where it was like, okay, I tried to do things my way. I tried to do things the way other people wanted me to do it my whole entire life. And I just finally reached a point where I said, you know what, I'm going to cut it off and just start over.
Okay. Well, Sharice, what happened with you that made you decide, I'm just going natural?
Okay, so
Forget it.
it actually, for me, happened while I was in college, because that's when I had to really learn how to do my own hair. And my hair was falling out. It was just a hot mess. And I remember I worked at a shoe store, and a customer came in, and she had this beautiful twist out. And I was like, oh, I wish my hair would do that. And she was like, it will. Stop getting relaxers. Literally, that's what she told me. So I just thought about it and prayed about it. And then one day I said, this is it. It's my last relaxer. And a couple of days after graduation, I big chopped, because I was like, I'm tired of the transition.
Wow.
I just want to be free, and that's what it felt like for me, just a moment to be free and really learn who I am, because I feel like we get so connected to our hair.
We do.
We let our hair define us. So
Yeah.
I went through a stage where I was like, you know what, forget the hair, and it was the best decision.
And
I made.
how long ago was that? How many years?
It's been 7 years since I
Wow.
had a relaxer.
Wow. And Miss Leslie, what led to you just going natural?
I don't have an answer.
You just wanted to do it.
No, I'll tell you what. My best friend in the whole wide world, Paula Shows.
My girl.
When I met her maybe 25 years ago, she came to me and she said, "Ooh, who does your hair?" And she was saying it because at that time I was wearing my hair straight with sponge rollers, and it looked like that, I guess. And so she took on the assignment of being my hairdresser and my professional hair care person, and it just evolved from that.
Well, Paula could do some hair.
Yeah, and I wore my hair really, really, really short in a natural. And she said, Les, your hair is a pattern that you don't have to put a perm in. And she would get upset when I did try to get one. So that's how I started. I've always had color in it.
Yeah.
I've always wore a color, but I've never, it's been the past 15, 20 years now that I've worn it this way.
Wow. That's amazing. I know for me, I have not had any chemical in my hair. It will be 10 years in January. 10 years. And I love the protective styles, which is why I wanted Linda to be here tonight, because she does protective styles for our hair. But what I want to know is, what is it that you think, what is it that makes society so concerned about our hair all the time? Why do they care? I don't understand why these people care what we're doing with our hair. You know what I mean? I mean, when they get up, they're wearing their hair the way they want to wear it. But what is it that mystifies people about our hair? What do you think it is? Elder Tracy, what do you think it is?
You know, I don't have an answer for that. Because as you're talking and I'm sitting here thinking, like, I see the spiked hair, you know, on our sister people. And, you know, you see some of everything.
Everything.
You watch the Kardashians and you see braids. You see the spiked hair. So I don't know what mystifies them about our hair.
Isn't that weird?
You know, I get a lot of questions regarding my braids. I'm not natural, but I wear a lot of hairstyles like this, and it's like, I don't know.
But you know, I think that's
is.
what I love about our hair, is that our hair is so diverse. We can do almost anything with it because of the texture of our hair. We have so many diversity of textures. We can wear it braided. Yeah, we can wear a weave if we want to, but guess what? If you don't want to wear that, you take it out and you do something else. I love braids, personally, because they're real easy. You can put them up in a ball. You can put some little sticks in it, you know, or whatever you want to do, and be on your way, you know. And it's easy for us because it takes a lot of stress off of our hair. And I know that it just seems like every time that we do change our hair, people always, you know, they want to touch it. We don't like people to touch our hair. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. I'm being honest. Black women do not like anybody.
I don't mind.
I don't like anybody.
I don't mind.
I don't want anybody touching my hair. I mean, just look at it. And some people don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just something.
Well, it just depends.
I don't touch other people's hair either. So.
It depends. As far as myself, my life is so compact. And I never was a good hairstylist anyway for my own self. So wearing it natural when all I have to do is get in the morning, take a shower, put a little dab of Grenade Fruit Truce, leave it conditioner, keep it going. That's not a problem. Now that I found out that my sister girl here is a professional, what do you call her?
She's just a natural hairstylist.
But she had another word, protective.
Protective.
Yeah. Then I'll be consulting her. But my thing was, hair was never a big issue with me. I could care less, and that might have been why Paula stopped me. Because you look like you didn't care less. Right. But I have friends I have a friend I was sharing with Steve that for the past 20 years, I would say there might have been 5 times that she had not been at a hairdresser on a Friday. Because if she couldn't make her an appointment, it would affect her whole day, whether or not if she didn't get her hair done every week on the week. And I never understood that. But everybody's different,
That's true. But speaking of that, what helped you to know between Sharice and Sherry? What helped you to know that and understand that? How I decide to wear my hair doesn't define me. What helped you to understand that, Sherry?
Well, when I did the big chop, I just kind of reached a point where I said, I'm letting everything go. And if someone has a problem with me or someone doesn't like me because of my hair, they don't really like who I am.
Exactly.
Sometimes we rely so much upon our hair and our appearance to define us, when really it's what matters inside. So I just was like, you know what? This is who I am. You can like me, love me, or hate me. But this is who I am.
Yeah. Exactly. Is that kind of how you felt, Sharice?
Yeah, very similar. For me, working in corporate America, just having different mentors, I would notice if I was getting ready for a big meeting or something, they would say, you need to straighten your hair, or this is what you need to do to your hair. And I'm like, but this is not how I wear my hair. That's an inconvenience for me, and then it's like I don't keep that up. So what happens when I show up and I have an afro? Like, I want people to know this is who I am, this is how I'm coming to work. So I needed people to embrace that, just like I embrace it.
Yeah. This is how my hair grows out my head. Okay?
Exactly.
This is how God made it. So get with the program. So Linda, as a stylist, what has been your experience as it pertains to your clients as far as fulfilling their needs when you're doing their hair?
Well, first of all, with my clients, I find that a lot of times when you get into discussions with them, pertaining to their hair, you find out a whole lot more.
Yeah.
And I'll
it's
go back
deeper
to
than
it's deeper than that. And a lot of times they bring pictures or they bring something that they want to look like. And with me and my choice of doing things, I'll give them another angle, like how about if you do this, then that, because everything doesn't look right on everybody.
That's right.
And just like me, for instance, when I started to begin to grow my dreadlocks, my decision to do that was, I noticed that, I'm a seamstress as well, and I noticed that people always like, oh, you're sharp, I like that, or oh, I love your hair and this and that, and I was, curious, like, what if I cut my hair off? Would these same people still feel the same way about me? Would they see me the same way? And it was more of a defining myself. And that's what I was trying to do.
Okay.
And that's what
because
I was trying to do.
I know this happens to probably all of the hairstylists where somebody will bring a picture. But I think it's good that you might give them something similar to that, but you want them to remain unique and understand that they are their own person. Just look like yourself.
That's it.
Have your own look. So how important is your role, Linda, as their stylist to make them feel comfortable about what you've done when they get ready to leave? How do you...
Well, I think with me, it's a lot of educating. I love educating my clients on their hair. I love educating them on, getting to know themselves in the core of them, in their spirit, in their souls. And a lot of that has to do with how you feel inside, like how you feel inside. If you know that your hair doesn't define you, then you'll find that you'll become a whole lot better person.
Yes.
So when I do their hair and try to make them feel, it makes them feel a certain kind of way later on. I have a lot of people that say, you make me feel so good about myself. And no, you already felt good about yourself.
Exactly.
I'm just educating you. This is not just today. This has been going on since the beginning of time. even back since slavery. When our hair was knotted up and stuff like that when we came, came here and stuff like that. And when our hair was pressed out, there was a jealousy that reeked all over, And so after that, they began to make us wrap our hair. And so, it was to control us.
Yeah.
Because everything was about, and like everything was about like from the African ages, everything was about your hair, the makeup. It told what tribe you came from. It told, a story. Everything about our hair tells a story. And there's power in it.
It is good.
It is.
That's why people want to touch it.
Right.
People want to feel it. You got your Angela Davis who brought the power of the afro.
Yeah.
And the dreadlocks that brought power. Everything is a power with us. It's culture.
Yeah. Well, Sherry, I want you to give us a synopsis of your book and why you decided to write it.
Yes, so my book, The Story Behind My Hair, Depression, Divorce, Death to Destiny, it's my testimony, and it's illustrated through my hair. So every single chapter, it either is talking about a phase that I was in with my hair or something that was pertaining to my life.
Okay.
And it's really just my testimony, and I never envisioned myself being a writer. Never. For the longest, I didn't even like reading books. But my life had reached a point where I said, this has to be a story. I'm not going through this for no reason. It has to be for a greater cause. And at the time, that is kind of what kept me going. I was experiencing multiple different tragedies all at the same time within a very, very compressed window. And it was to the point where it almost led to depression.
Yeah.
It did lead to depression. I had thoughts of suicide, but I found God in that story. And it's my testimony. For many years, I played Christian, but I didn't have that relationship with God. And by me having that relationship with God, that is really what changed my life and allows me to love myself for who I am. And know that I don't have to live in the shadow of someone else. God loves me for who I am, and now that's just my mission to help other people.
Wow. That's amazing. Because and it's no telling how many people can be blessed by your title, because and you were talking about you don't know why you wrote it, but I didn't plan on writing the ones that I wrote. And a lot of times God he allows something to happen in order for whatever message it is he's trying to get out to other people, he's going to use you to get it out. So I know personally too many people that are dealing with this issue, and I just don't think it's I don't understand why we're dealing with it. You know what I mean? I think we should have the freedom to wear our hair the way we want to wear it. If you want to wear a weave and it's way down your back, that's your choice if that's what you want to do. I personally, that's a lot of hair to be maintaining, but they're okay. They're fun to do, and then you can take that out and do something else. And that's what I like about the diversity and the flexibility of our hair because of the texture. Because of our texture, we can do a lot more. With it. Sure. But I don't feel like we should be held to a higher standard of, people trying to tell us how we need to do it. Well, let me ask you all this, because this is something that's been coming up in the news a lot. A lot of our babies are being demonized, in schools, and even being expelled from school, suspended, because they come to school and their hair is braided, or they come to school, and the administrators are trying, who are probably not of our culture, are trying to make rules and regulations about our hair, and they have no idea what it takes to maintain our hair. And I just was wondering how you all felt about that, because that's been in the news quite a bit lately. What about you, Tracy?
I actually, it does disturb me.
Isn't that disturbing?
Yeah, the more that I read it and see it, whether on social media, in the news, it's very disturbing, because you're telling that child they can't be their authentic self.
Exactly.
Meaning someone else is indicating this is how you need to be.
Exactly.
And we have so many other barriers and so many other things that we deal with in life that why would we put that on a child?
Exactly.
At a very, very impressionable age. Now, how will this child grow up?
Exactly.
I have to wear my hair a certain way, or I have to look a certain way,
Right.
in order to be accepted in society. So
Exactly.
I definitely am very, very disturbed by it.
Yeah, it is crazy to me, and I really don't know what would happen if somebody sent my child home because their hair braided,
Right.
or something. I don't know how I would feel about that. I mean,
Yeah.
how does someone that don't even deal with it, they don't understand what we go through? Because other cultures, a lot of them, they wash their hair every day. We don't do that. Most of us do not do that.
Right. Right.
We wash our hair, but we don't wash
Not
it
every
every
day.
single day. So depending on what style that you're wearing, is probably what indicates how often you wash it.
Right.
You know. So being that you don't understand what it takes to take care of our hair, how are you making rules and regulations for how we can wear it? You know,
right.
and I think it does kind of give off that aura of you're not good enough.
That's it.
You know.
That's it.
Don't you think that's what
I
it's a
agree. I
mind
totally
game? It's
agree.
like you ain't good enough. You can't come to school
That's
because
right.
your hair is like that. Really?
And I also see it as a power
Yeah.
move. People want to be in control.
Yeah.
And can't control their own home, can't control their own life, so they want to control someone else's.
Someone else's.
And that is it. Matter of fact, I don't wash my hair every day. It gets wet when I get in the shower, but the older it gets, the better it looks.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if I know I have a big event planned, maybe in November or something, I might wash my hair the end of October. By the time November comes, the week in November, it's where I want it. I just washed my hair last Sunday, and it still ain't funky enough for me. You know, as it gets older, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't make a lot of sense. That's what people say.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But everybody's different in how they're caring for their hair. That's why I don't think it's. I don't know what the answer is, but something needs to happen. Where adults need to get involved that have black children that we can have a conversation,
Right.
you know, with administrators and say, why are you all demonizing our children because of the way we culturally wear and take care of our hair? You know, something needs to happen. You know, it's a shame that we're in 2018, almost 2019, and we have to do that. But at some point, something needs to happen, you know, in order for this to stop. Because I've been seeing too many stories about it, you know. And I don't think demonizing our children is definitely not the answer,
Definitely.
you know. Because everybody knows that black people as a whole, we have different grades of hair.
right.
You know, for some people, they can probably wash their hair every day. That ain't me. But it is. There are some people that they have a nice enough grade of hair where they probably can wash their hair every day. But you can't lump everybody in one boat and decide, okay, this is what all y'all need to do in order to make us feel comfortable. I'm having a problem. I'm really having an issue with that. So I'm not sure what the answer is. Does anybody else have any suggestions or, you know, of what might can happen? Because I think that's something that needs to be thought about.
I agree with you. With the conversation needs to take place.
Yes.
It is a conversation
Yeah.
because it's what they don't understand that they're fearful of. Now, if you can explain to me how a braid is going to be dangerous,
Right. Exactly.
or a faux lock is going to make someone get hurt at school,
Right.
you know, they don't know how to explain it. They just want to put it down on paper, but they don't explain to you why.
And they want to control it.
Right.
Just like what Leslie said.
Yeah, but did something happened recently? I don't know. I'm hearing you talk about that. I know years ago there were some people talking about children being put out of school. Did something happen recently?
Yeah,
Where
it's
something
been several stories
And how did they justify it? What did they say?
that they just have a school policy that you can't come to school with your hair braided.
Yeah.
Now, how somebody comes up with a policy like that,
And not being able to justify why.
right?
Exactly.
They're just saying, you know, and that was my thing. You know, I felt the same way like Linda said. How is somebody's hair being braided hurting somebody?
You can't wear your hair braided, but you could come with your hair blue.
Right.
Yeah.
Or purple.
So it's not about the hair anyway. So I'm trying to keep my ministerial spirits down. But it ain't even about the hair. It's
Right,
just
it's
about some of the underlying craziness
Yeah.
that's going on, because the person comes with lock, they ain't locked and loaded.
Right.
So what do you
Exactly.
know? What, the braid's gonna blow up or hit you?
I don't
No,
know what
it's-
it is.
it's-
I want
it's
my
something
production
beyond.
staff to get the video ready because we're going to watch
Yeah.
the video in a minute. But
Something else is going
it
on.
is something else going on.
It is.
But it was, I know I saw a story just recently about some girls that ran track. They were like track stars and got put off the track team because they wore their hair braided.
To me, I feel like it is a way for people to break us, right? Because you go to school and you have your administration telling you can't wear braids. And then you have kids making fun of you because you wear your afro. So it's like, where's the balance? How I struggle, you're going to struggle there because it's like, okay, what's okay? How am I okay? How am I comfortable? So I think that, black women, we're so powerful and we're so like intimidating that they're like, we gotta control something. We gotta control something. And it's going to be the way they look.
And then they wonder why the kids are depressed. and
Yeah.
why they can't function. And it's always something.
And some of them are
It's always
pushed to
something.
suicide, like
That's
what you
right.
were saying. And this kind of stuff should not be happening because if you want to know the truth, it's really kind of a down low way of bullying.
Yeah, that
It
was my
is.
thought.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really kind of a way of bullying kids by trying to create a policy that they can't wear their hair according to how they culturally grew
Or
up.
how their mama put the comb their
Exactly.
hair.
But what's
whatever,
even
yeah.
funnier is like what you were saying, because you'll turn on the Kardashians and they trying to take ownership of some stuff we've been doing for centuries.
Exactly.
Like they done created it. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. Or Bo Derek, remember them days?
Yes.
And I don't get it. I don't understand. But, I do feel like it is something that if this continues, something's going to have to happen where we have a conversation with some administrators
Right.
to say, and I would be willing to do it, and I don't even have school-age children anymore, but I would be willing to step in and do that because I don't understand how you can bully our kids and you create a policy we had nothing to do with.
Right.
Nobody asked us anything. You're just going to make a policy that, okay, no braids. You can't come in here with any kind of braids. It was one girl, one of the girls had box braids, the other one had micros, but neither one of them acceptable.
Right.
But who made that rule? You know what I mean? Where did that come from?
So it's like you have a culture
Yeah.
trying to control a culture
Right.
that they know nothing
They
about.
know nothing
You know?
about it.
So what if the tables were turned?
Exactly. Well, I think we all know the answer. I think we all know the answer. But are we ready with the video? We ready to go? Listen, you guys. We're getting ready to watch a video by one of my good friends. Her name is Wincy Terry Bryant. I absolutely love this song. It's called I Remember. We'll be right back. On the other side of this, we're going to talk about a free event that's coming up on this Friday. So you want to be right
Now
back
everybody
here.
keeps their pictures in their phones, but if you were to print them out, you would put them in a book like this to help you remember things.
Like what?
As I'm looking back now, it's so clear to see you've always been there for me through the good, through the bad. But thinking that I could fix things without any help, I went on to do it myself. Still after that, you took me back. Looking around on my own, learning what I should have known. It's you, it's always you. Seeking what I'd never find, thinking it's all in my mind. But it's you, it's always been you. I could never deserve you, I never will, but that never deterred you. You love me still. Things hurtful to remember, things too good to be true, things that hurt to remember, things too good to be true. Your love blazed remember, saw me through. I remember you. I remember you. I'm so grateful you called me to come back to you instead of aimlessly wondering what you to do in the good, in the bad. Oh, when I realized that I don't deserve it, your love, no way that I could ever earn it, I never could. Your love, so good. Looking around on my own, learning what I should have known. It's you, it's always been you. Seeking what I'd never find, thinking it's all in my mind. It's you, it's always been you. And though I couldn't feel you, I know you were there. Not just in a good time. It's hurtful to remember things too good to be true. Things I've heard to remember. Things too good to be true. Your love blaze like an ember, saw me through. And I remember you. I remember you. Remember you. All of your blessings, I'm so grateful to you, Lord. You never left me alone. That's why I can't forget. No, I won't forget.
I remember, that is Miss Wednesday Terry Bryant, one of my girlfriends, lives on the East Coast. I absolutely love her. Y'all notice her hair? She's also a hairdresser, so her and her husband did have their own salon. But that was Wednesday Terry Bryant. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So this coming Friday, there is a free event happening on Friday, September 21st. It's called Sisters Night Out. And Elder Tracy is actually the hostess of that event. And I want you to tell us about what it is and what's going to be going on.
Well, that is our Sisters Movie Night. That event came about. I love doing women's ministry, and I love bringing our sisters together. It's a time of fellowship. We'll have a meet and greet that will be at 6 p.m. We will watch a movie at 7 p.m. That movie title, it's okay to say, is Nappily Ever After. We'll cover a lot of what we're talking about tonight. Just hearing Sherry's story, I think they wrote that movie about you. But that will be on this Friday, September 21st. We'll have a meet and greet at 6 p.m. The movie will begin at 7. We will have vendors that will be there. It's just going to be a fun night. We'll have light refreshments. That's going to be at the Inspirational Bible Church, right here in Forest Park. 11450 Sebring Drive. Dr. Victor Cousins is our pastor, and we just look for a wonderful, wonderful, enjoyable night. We'll also have a discussion following the movie. Our sister Sherry and our pastor Doris will actually facilitate that discussion, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot more. We'll be taking pictures, we'll be having fun, and we're going to be talking about our hair issues that other people have.
Yeah, exactly. So we're the one got the issues.
Yes, that event is free and open to the public, so you can bring your sister friends, your mom, your grandmother, your next door neighbor, and even some from the other persuasion, they may,
Yeah.
learn a little
Yeah.
bit about the culture.
Because it's really just about the fellowship
It's
of it, which I don't feel like we do enough of. So anytime we can do that, I'm always game for that kind of stuff. But I think we can learn also from
Definitely.
each other. We tend to take a lot for granted. Just like some of the people we were talking about a few minutes ago. Some people just take for granted that because something is not happening to them or they don't have to deal with it, this shouldn't be a problem for anybody else. And I think this is a good learning, teachable moment
Yes.
for us to be able to watch the film and then discuss the content because like you said, it basically has a lot to do with what we're discussing tonight. And I hope all you ladies are going to, try to, be there with us so that we can all just learn that our hair is not the problem. And anybody
Right.
that does have a problem with our hair, it is their problem.
That's right.
Which is what Sherry was saying. It really is other people's problem. Our hair is not a problem. We can do what we want with our hair, and people need to just be okay with that. You know what I mean? And I think one way to help that to happen as far as society is concerned is to keep doing like what Sharice said. What I did want to ask you, Sharice, because you had mentioned earlier about being a professional in corporate America, do you feel that are you changing the atmosphere where you're working at? Do you feel that people are just saying this is just who she is, so everybody needs to just back off? Because sometimes when you take a stand like that and people understand that you are standing for something, they respect you. So are you seeing any differences or changing in the atmosphere?
I would absolutely say people are more accepting now because this is literally how I show up to work. I had my first professional headshot. I remember it was really pretty. Like I had this long quick weave. I mean, it was gorgeous. And then one day I was like, I should really change this because this is deceiving because this is not who they get, So I recently had a new headshot taken. I have a beautiful twist out, but I'm like, this is who they see. This is who they're going to get every day. So I want you to know that and accept that because this is how I'm showing up with a smile. So I want people to accept that. So I would definitely say people are more accepting because this is who I am.
And I think that's really, whether you know it or not, because a lot of times we don't think we're making a difference when we actually are. So sometimes you can be the quiet difference, just making it clear that this is who I am. And you all need to get with my program, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know how many other people you may be freeing by standing on the fact that I'm going to wear my hair the way God gave it to me. And if you have a problem with that, then I'm going to pray for you. Because I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? So you really don't know how many people that you might be freeing because have you noticed anyone else that also have started maybe wearing their hair natural?
Definitely notice more people wearing their natural hair in the workplace and just embracing it. I think to me it's easier, right? Because I feel like the weaves get expensive. Like it's the upkeep of everything else. So it's like this is the easy way. My sisters, I encourage you to bring your authentic self to work every day.
It's free.
It's very free and it's free. You are not your hair. So
Be free.
And in the movie, Sanaa Lathan's character, she actually did this in real life, to be honest with you.
Yes.
But she shaved her head off. She shaved her hair off because she was so tired of being defined by whether her hair was the right color or the right style or whatever. And I think the frustration is like what you were saying. And she just,
Gotta let it go.
she was just like, I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? But she actually cut her hair in real life. So did Tamar Braxton.
Yes.
And I feel like to me, that when you shave it, that ain't no big chop. That's just
That's drastic.
that ain't no big chop. That's just shaving your head off. You know what I'm saying? But if you comfortable doing that, I don't have a problem with it. Some women look good like that. I think Sanaa Lathan is beautiful anyway, but I don't think it really made any difference whether she had hair or not. She's a pretty girl. But obviously, with her being in that industry, to me that said a lot because everybody that knows anything about Hollywood, you don't have to have a career in Hollywood to know that everything is about looks.
Yes.
Absolutely everything. From your body size to your makeup, your hair, everything is scrutinized in Hollywood. It could be the make or break of whether you get a role or not. So for her to be a black actress, which the roles for black people, period, male or female, they are so few and far between. For her to put herself on the line like that and say, you know what, I'm doing me now. That spoke volumes to me when she did that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tamar. Not that I'm a big fan of hers, but just that, at some point she got fed up. And, some women, when we talk about the big chop, they just cut it down. They don't cut it off. They cut their hair off like a man shaved their hair. They shave their head off. That to me is a bold, bold statement.
Yes, it is.
And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do it. And if I did do it, it would have to be a reason of some sort that I connected with to do it. Does that make sense? So I applaud, girl. I applaud anybody that can do that. I've done the big chop. I grew my hair back. I went through years of the whole getting relaxers and all that. What Sharice just said a few minutes ago is absolutely correct because, the chemicals and all that mess, it is so not good for our hair. I don't care how straight our hair gets, it's really not good for our hair. And when I finally realized that, I was getting those micros and I was getting all kind of stuff and going back and forth between relaxers. And the girl that was doing my hair at that time, she said, Doris, listen here. You're not doing it. Repeat after me. You're doing no more relaxers. I mean, she just took control of that whole situation, just like, Paula did for you. And she just told me, she said, no more. I want you to promise me you're not putting any more chemical in your hair, and I'm going to show you how to take care of your hair. And I think the first photo shoot I did, the picture you have on the flyer, that's my hair.
Wow.
She grew my hair back out. And when I did that photo shoot, I told her, I said, I went to get my hair done. I said, okay, I need you to do something. We need a quick weave or something. She was like, why? And I was like, because I got a photo shoot tomorrow. She was like, no, we're doing your hair. And I was really nervous about that picture right there. That's my hair. And she literally took my hair from such a damaged state, and she just grew it back, to where it was healthy. So I've been through it. I have been through it. And to be honest with you, I don't have any desire to go back to doing chemicals, because you're really giving other people money that, that's unnecessary money, to be spending. But has anybody else had that, experience where you just like, you finally come to the realization, I don't want to spend all this money. I just don't want to spend all this money on these products and damaging my hair anymore.
One of the things I found out when I was getting perms years ago, it ended up having to get cut off anyway, because after a while your hair would be broken in certain spots, and so you had to kind of get it cut to start over again. But the main thing I think I talked about this earlier, that I like being natural, is because when your life is so full of all kinds of stuff, you have to prioritize. Something is going to lack.
Right.
And I chose it to be, instead of having to have other things, like I'm in a lot of ministry. I won't be able to be at the event on Friday because I'll be ministering in Dayton prison all weekend. So I have to make some choices.
That's
right. Do I want to continue to do? Because I remember telling God one time, Lord, I don't have enough room to put anything else on my plate.
Yeah.
And I heard Holy Spirit whisper, I made the plate. So you have to choose.
That's right.
And I definitely don't want to sacrifice what God has called me to do in ministry for
That's right.
a hairstyle
Exactly.
or anything else. So I had to make a choice.
Yeah. And my life is off the chain busy. I don't have time to be fooling around with my hair all, you know what I mean? And and it has to be in some kind of decent shape because I work and I do ministry as well. So I just don't, I need something. That's why I love what Linda does, because she does the protective styles that protect our natural hair, but you can still get something else done to it. And if you guys have never seen, honey, listen, go on Facebook and look at Linda's pictures. Lord, oh my God.
See,
She can do
I'm
anything.
excited about because
She can do anything. She can literally do anything. She's amazing. So, and she will take your hair, and when you get done, you like, what? You know.
See, twist it up and
She's good.
Okay, good.
Whether it's faux locks or real ones or whatever you want, the braids, micros or whatever. You know.
I remember when I first saw Linda, because I used to always be just amorized by the way she looked, and but she always wore this hair wrap.
She's so cultured.
And the time I saw her, I said, "Whoa!" It was just simply amazing, gorgeous. I mean, I loved your style anyway.
Thank you.
But when I saw that, you see, so that doesn't mean people who wear hair wraps or wigs or whatever, they have something up under there.
That's right.
And so there's a choice. It's versatile. You can choose.
And we're protecting our hair, you know. And I mean, that's, to me, it's still less expensive than getting these relaxers that's burning your hair out. And I mean, my hair was really, really bad. And when I did a big chop, I didn't do a shave, but it was down there. I had like this little, you know, and she grew it back to that. And but you know, I think it's a realization and a maturity that we come into.
A letting go of.
There you go.
There you go.
Because just like you said, it's not even about the hair. It's usually something else going on.
Deeper.
Right.
Deeper.
It's way deeper than the hair. We try to make it seem like it's not the hair. It's something else that we don't want to get rid of. And just like Cherie said in the beginning, it's a freeing. Isn't that what you said? It's a liberty attached to just doing what you want to do with your hair. But I think, and then what Sherry was saying about just having the control to say, I'm cutting my hair, you know, or I'm going to do whatever. You know, we need to be able to have that freedom, you know, to do what we want to do with our hair. Absolutely. I love everybody's hair. Seriously, I love everybody's hair on the platform because it's showing your own unique personalities. And that's what I love about who we are.
Yes.
As people. And that's what people need to learn, how to accept us for who we are. So how do you think we can help other people that are not of our culture to understand us as far as our hair is concerned? What do you think we can do? What are some things you think we can do to help them to understand better about our hair, our crown, and how we choose to wear it?
I think finding ways of awareness and communication.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just a conversation with the other party. But whatever ways that we can create as Black women to raise awareness of our hair, why we wear it a certain way, or why her texture may be different than your texture. But raising awareness in whatever way that we can.
That's deep. I think it's because I think it's deep. It's because I bet nobody else that's not of our culture is going through this.
No.
They just get up and go about their life. You know what I mean? It's like we got to be that deep that we got to have a conversation with y'all about how we take care of our hair. What are maybe 2 or 3 things that you can suggest to anybody that's even thinking about doing the big chop or thinking about going natural? What would you recommend to them?
First thing, see me first. See me first. We might be able to save it without the big chop. And secondly, be very, very sure that's something that you want to do, because if it's, like you said, if it's other things that's underlying that's causing the problem and the confusion, you might make it worse by, cutting your hair off and causing another problem for yourself. So, like I said, everything about hair to me is knowing yourself from the core first, knowing who you are, so whatever you do on top doesn't define you.
That's good.
Oh my God. Whatever you do on top
Doesn't define
doesn't
you.
define you. That's a good word. I might make that my status on Facebook. Can I steal that?
Take it.
We all should say whatever you put on top.
Yeah, we tell her, we give her credit one time, but
I think we all should make that our status.
That's good.
That is good. That's a good word right there. Because, oh my God, I wonder how many people we can reach tonight. How many sisters are watching?
right. And I'm still meditating on that because Scripture says, man looks at the outward appearance,
Yes.
but God looks at the heart.
Yes.
And so everything is so superficial. We
Yeah.
see.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I should have been a comedian. I think I.
Yes.
But I'm reminded of this of a Flintstone one time episode, and Dino was in love with Sassy, and so he saw Sassy. She was beautiful, but then he saw her pop off her wig and pop off. He said, "Yikes!" You know, we see so much money, and then underneath, we don't see the natural them. You know, and all of us are seeing something that is not even real because people are. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the weaves and the eyelashes and that kind of stuff, but it's not showing your true authenticity.
And it's supposed, makeup itself is supposed to be used as an enhancer. It's not supposed to turn you into somebody else. You know what I mean? And that's the way I feel about any of this. I think people can go too far with all of it. You know what I mean? It's always somebody that just takes it to the nth degree about anything, whether you're talking about hair, whether you're talking about makeup, eyelashes, instead of just being natural looking lashes, and then theirs got to be out like this, you know, and you see them coming a mile away. And it should not ever be to the degree that people can't recognize who you are.
That's right.
It should be an enhancer, and to me, that's your hair too. It should just be an enhancer of who you are. It should be part of your personality, and I think that that's what Linda was saying. It should just be an extension of who you already are.
I think it all goes back to self-love.
Yeah.
You know,
I
making
agree.
sure you really love yourself for who you are.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, all the other stuff, it's enhancers.
It's just
It's
enhancers.
enhancers.
So we're not speaking against
Oh,
weaves, extensions of any kind. We're not speaking against wigs. We're not speaking against not wearing makeup. This ain't the holiness movement. I mean, we're not
Love
saying
yourself.
any of that. Love yourself and look nice. I think God wants us to look nice. I really do. And the thing is, take what you already are, and just add a little bit to that. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with doing that, but don't change into a whole different person. Nobody know who you are. I've literally seen people like that. 1 week they barely can wear a bra, the next they're 40 double D. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just like, it don't take all that. So and sometimes you wonder, who are they doing it for?
Absolutely.
And that goes for your hair too. Who are you doing it for? You should do it for you.
That's right.
And I touch on that in my book.
What chapter?
It's in chapter 2. So chapter 2 is relaxer. So my first chapter is actually called naps. Is when I was, you know, I didn't know how to manage my hair, right? And I have a big family. All my sisters, their hair is like really, really curly, and I had that thick water wave naps, right? I just didn't know how to manage it, so I wanted to take on the identity of someone else. And I literally thought I was Aaliyah. You know, I wanted to be Aaliyah because all the guys liked her, and that's what I wanted. I was craving that attention, and a lot of times that's what it is. We're craving that attention.
Exactly.
Okay, this person has this long blonde weave. If I get that, I'll get that same attention. But it goes all back to self-love.
It does go back to self-love.
Yes.
And what a lot of men don't understand, because I've had to tell several of them now, all these women that y'all falling out over on TV, they doing the same thing we doing. We just ain't on TV. That's the only difference. They probably on there got on less clothes than we got on. But they doing the same thing we're doing. And they have a bigger platform. And it's not, I don't have a problem with any of it. I have a problem when we go too far with it. Because when you go too far with it, that lets me know that it is something wrong there's something going on the inside where you really don't love yourself. That has to be what's going on.
It is, definitely.
And that image is controlling you. So now you've become controlled by the hair.
By the hair,
and
by the makeup,
eyelashes,
by
the
yeah.
makeup,
Yeah.
and all of that. And then you get married,
And then,
and then you
And
go
then-
home, and you got to
Exactly.
take all that stuff off. And then he realized,
Exactly.
what, that ain't who I'm.
Exactly. And you should feel comfortable enough not only with yourself,
Yes.
but you should feel comfortable enough with the person that you're with.
That's right.
That you can be exactly who you are. And they can know exactly what you look like, whether you have hair, braids, a weave or not, relaxer or not. Bruce has seen me in every instance.
Yeah.
He's seen all of it. So my thing is, if you don't love me now, okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that when you're getting involved with somebody that is that's major.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They need to see you in all aspects, and then when you kick it in a few, because you're going somewhere, then they say, "Oh, okay, she done got it together too." All right.
You know something else? I've talked to, not that it's happened to me a lot, but men like to rub their hands through. They don't want to get it tied.
That's
I got my ring caught in my hair. They want to be able to feel it. So it's something to that too.
Yeah.
Especially our black men, they love women in their natural
Yeah,
state.
because they want to know what they're getting. So you should be happy with who you are too. Miss Tracy, could you tell us again about the Sisters Night Out as far as what time and the address and all
Okay, our Sisters Movie Night is this Friday, September 21st. We have a meet and greet at 6 p.m. The movie begins at 7. The discussion is immediately after the movie. We do have vendors that will be there, as well as we have light refreshments. And again, that's at the Inspirational Bible Church, 11450 Sebring Drive. It is free and open to the public. All of our ladies are invited.
I'm gonna need some popcorn.
Okay, well, we'll get you a bag.
I'm gonna need some popcorn. You guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I hope this was liberating for you guys. I really do, because that's what it was intended to be. I want to thank all my guests, Elder Tracy Lee, Sharice Stargell, Sherry Demons, Linda Kennemore Brown, Leslie Calhoun. I love all of you ladies. I applaud you for being who God made you to be. And I want to thank you all for joining us for the September edition of Another Way to Praise. Let everything that have breath praise the Lord.
Amen. It's so good being on this.